Hello everybody and welcome to Rewind the Lesson. My name is Margaret, and in today's video I will be sharing with you my experience of completing my postgraduate certificate in education at the University of the Witwatersrand. Now, before we get into all those nitty-gritties, I think it is important that I provide you with a little bit of background and context into, my educational background, which is before actually applying for this PGCE, I had completed an honors equivalent BA in dramatic arts from the very same university. And after that, I decided to then go on and complete a postgraduate certificate in education. If you see me looking down, please excuse me. I'm just simply looking at my laptop so that I don't miss out on any of the points that I think are important to mention in this video. So I'm just going to start off with the application process. So when I applied for this PGCE, at that time, the requirements was that I submit a CV and also a motivational letter motivating why I wanted to complete the PGCE. You know how it goes. The fees, or rather tuition at the time, was probably around 40,000 or just under 40,000 probably. And I opted to complete this qualification on a part-time basis, just simply because I was working full-time and I couldn't commit to attending lectures during the day. One of the things that I regret was actually not looking around and comparing with different institutions, the cost of the PGCE, and also just with bursaries as well, because I then had to self-fund this qualification, which honestly, it wasn't nice. So if there's anything you can take away from this video, is that if you are considering to apply for this qualification, please look around, compare institutions, but also look around for possible sponsorships or like funding from bursaries. When I registered, I was told that I could only teach senior phase and further education and training. So basically this meant only qualified to teach high school. I had an option of choosing 2 subjects that I will then qualify to teach. So the 2 subjects that you will qualify to teach will be dependent on your actual undergraduate degree. So if you've completed an undergraduate degree, let's say maybe a BCom, then maybe your actual teaching subjects in high school might be like accounting and maybe business studies. And if you've completed psychology, then maybe you then qualify for like teaching LO and maybe English. It will depend on your undergraduate degree as to which subjects you'll then be allowed to teach in the classroom. I started taking my classes in 2019. That was my first year of the 2 years that I was supposed to take this qualification for. At the time, I would take the classes, I think from around 5:30 in the evening all the way till around 9:30. And that would be maybe twice a week. Yes, on Mondays the classes I think were dedicated to learning, teaching methodologies, and then on Wednesdays, if I was not mistaken, those would be days that would be dedicated to then doing content that's related to your teaching subject. I had to do teaching practicals. I don't remember how long the duration was. I think maybe like 3 to 4 months. I completed at a school of my choice. And yeah, it was at a government school. What a very interesting experience for me. 2020, that's when we experienced the pandemic. And due to the pandemic, I had to then start attending classes online. So my lecturers and everybody started giving their lessons online. And because of that also then affected my teaching practicals. I ended up having to do my teaching practicals that year online, and I did not necessarily have to physically go into a classroom or like at a school and do the teaching practicals. And then you also have to complete ICT test. ICT stands for Information Communication and Technology. And basically this is to assess that as a teacher, you are familiar with educational technology. You've got the abilities of understanding and using basic computer literacy. So you will get tested on that. And then another thing is there's a language requirement. So if in high school you did English and then you also did maybe isiXhosa or Sepedi or Venda, then that is great. Maybe as an FAL, then that's great. You've got 2 languages that you understand. But if you've only studied in English, then you would be required to then take on a language as a subject for you to complete, because then when you enter into our schools, the expectation is that you should know English and one of our South African languages from the 11 that are officially listed. Okay, That was a mouthful. That pretty much seals my experience with the PGCE at Wits. Would I recommend it? 100%. I would recommend it. I had a pretty, a pretty decent, good enough experience. My only thing was just I really wish I would have compared with other universities, especially as far as costs are concerned. But besides that, it was a pretty good program, and I would recommend it to anyone who's considering completing their postgraduate certificate in education. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.